Today I want to share with you things that I wish I'd known or considered before starting my IVF treatment. Now, you might find the last one a little bit surprising. I certainly did, so stick around to hear what it is at the end. So first up is clothing. Now, that might sound really obvious to you, but I was juggling work and IVF treatment and didn't always consider how easy it would be to give blood, administer my own injections, and actually just remain comfortable. So do put a little bit of thought into what you're wearing, particularly if you are juggling work and treatment and need to get to appointments a little bit last minute, and your body will change. So I found that actually my traditional workwear no longer felt suitable, and it felt like a big change in the workplace to suddenly start dressing differently. Next up is time to relax. I've been purposeful about recording here in my dressing room. This is my sanctuary and somewhere where I love to just relax and be, and that was really important. I didn't build that into my treatment plan. I was running from appointments to work and often doing appointments really last minute, and it's so vital to get your head in the game and give yourself that time to relax. Now, some clinics will give you that space, but not all. So I really want to say it's one of those things that I wished I'd thought about, wished I'd considered and mapped in a bit of time to really give myself the time and focus to relax when it came to my treatment. Next up are the little lies that we tell at work. This was insanely difficult for me. I didn't imagine to feel guilty on top of everything else that I was doing when it came to my IVF. Now, workplaces are changing a little bit and some are even supportive, which is great, but do consider your place of work and how conducive it is to escaping quickly and last minute for appointments and also for administering your medication. Is it actually a place where you can feel safe and calm to carry out your treatments? The right support system is vital. Now, I've got a great group of friends, so I didn't really think beyond them. And actually, very few had even experienced what IVF was like. So I do feel that if you're doing something that your current support network haven't experienced, that it is vital to find those that have. It will give you great support, encouragement, and actually the reassurance that those that you're seeking support from actually know where you're coming from. So don't underestimate even the support of strangers, or perhaps coming here, something like this video, which I hope will just help you feel a little bit supported during your journey. Here's a really important one: nutrition and well-being. Now, these weren't things that I considered at all in the beginning. We've always eaten well and liked to exercise, but actually that changes and becomes a little bit more bespoke to what you're doing when it comes to your IVF treatment. We saw a really great nutritionist in London. We didn't think about supplements. I needed to spend quite a lot of money on some really good and key supplements for the treatment. I also changed some of the exercise that I was doing, things like yoga and Pilates, or maybe exercise that was a little bit more on the relaxing side of things, became really key. So again, just mapping out what it is that you're going to need to feel ultimately relaxed and strong enough to carry out your treatment. Okay, cost, guys, wish I'd thought about this a little bit more. I've just mentioned additional things that I looked into, like nutrition, having additional yoga classes, things like that. Cost is a big one, and it goes beyond your treatment plan. So I wish somebody had told me that. There are things like scans that pop up, sometimes even travel, sometimes even accommodation. A lot of the time you will be investing in different ways of eating and looking after yourself. So do build that in to your IVF treatment plan. Take care of your emotional well-being. There are lots of highs and lows when it comes to your IVF treatment. Things that I didn't expect, the disappointment of things not working, the euphoria of thinking they might, and ultimately for us, when they did. So think about actually what happens to you and what you need when you are in slightly heightened periods of stress, and also when you are experiencing high joy. So both of those are things that are likely to occur when you're going through your IVF treatment, and certainly something that I wish somebody had nudged me in the direction of considering. There is so much to remember when it comes to your IVF and the treatment plan, whether it's appointments, medication, when you're taking them. So I didn't really anticipate that until I started. I started then taking notes all over the place, or just taking them where and what I had with me. So again, that's something to consider. Where do you like to keep notes? Where can you feel in control? Where can you make sure that everything is centralized so you have all the information you need? Obviously, our phones are a great place to do that. I'm a bit traditional. I like to notepad and pen in the end, and that just gave me comfort that I knew where everything was. So that's just something else to consider. There's a lot of information coming at you, sometimes some medical words, lots of different times to administer things throughout the day. So where do you best like to keep your information? And here's the one that you've been waiting for, the last thing that really surprised me, and that is managing your success. We were successful on our 7th round and had our beautiful little girl. Now, what I didn't anticipate was that whole emotional cycle of feeling like I couldn't express some of the things that I was going through, like difficult parts of pregnancy. I felt like I couldn't express them because we'd gone on such a journey to get here that it just didn't feel right. When you've worked this hard to have a family, I felt like some of the things that other people experienced were just not my entitlement, and I was really, really wrong. Everything that we experience when it comes to starting a family is a really important part of our journey, the process, and we deserve absolutely to express it. So whether it's difficulties breastfeeding, or just actually connecting with your child, or being a first-time parent, all of those are really valid no matter how you became parents. So I hope this has helped. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'd love to hear any of your tips when it comes to going through IVF, or something that perhaps surprised you in your treatment plan that would be really beneficial. So please pop that in the comments if you can help.